by the use of the lotus flower, because it makes use of a cultural tradition. And that can be very powerful. It reminds me of one of the high schools that we studied in our study of 24 award-winning high schools. The name of the school was Eleanor Roosevelt High School. It was in the state of Maryland. And a person, a faculty member there said, Eleanor Roosevelt is the soul of this school. She was a great humanitarian. She provided the leadership for the United Nations Human Rights Charter in 1948, Declaration of Universal Human Rights. And they bring scholars in to tell about her life, to tell about her work. So the students are inspired by her role model. It's like bringing the handicapped persons to the university. Their hearts are moved. And again, the heart is the bridge between the mind and the hand. So the inspiration is very important. And they believe that making use of the name of the school and the history of the school was a big part of their effectiveness. So I think we need to do more of that, to make use of the history, the local culture, the special things that have the power. Just three P's that I think would be good to think more about. One is the role of the principal, the role of leadership. And I'm sure Doug Carr can elaborate upon that as someone working with principals through the character.org organization. In our experience, where you find a strong school of character, you find a strong leader. The priority of the principal becomes the priority of the staff. Without that leadership, quality character education doesn't happen. So if we really want to spread this through the culture, we need academies for leadership development so that principals have the vision and the practical skills to transmit this to their staffs and to inspire them to not only begin the effort, but to sustain it. Many schools begin a character education effort, but it fades after time. It's the principal's leadership that helps to sustain it. A second P is the professional community, because it's not just the principal, it's all the staff, from the custodian to the secretary, to the school librarian, to the classroom teachers, to the counselors. Everyone together comprises the professional community. And the research shows that schools with a strong professional community have greater sustainability of any educational reform, because it becomes part of the staff culture. And even when the principal leaves, they get a new principal who is consistent with the strong staff culture. And the final P is parents. We've talked a bit about the role of parents, but we know from moral psychology, we know from research, that the family is the first and potentially most powerful formative influence. Therefore, the first priority of the school, it seems to me, based on our work and based on my understanding of the research, should be to find effective ways to involve the family, effective ways to bring parents into a full partnership, and to emphasize that they lay down the building blocks for character development, and that no one can replace them. And they have a continuing role throughout a child's growth to maturity. So ways to assign a high priority to parent involvement, it seems to me, has to be in the forefront of our efforts to be truly effective. Schools are doing more and more, partly because families, in many cases, in many modern societies, have broken down. We need to rebuild the families as a source of strength